Another day, more rumors. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler linked to potential trades from the Heat this season. Warriors would be in the mix if he's free. We're going to break down trades for you on this episode of Warriors Digest. In addition, a new assistant coach is coming to the Warriors, potentially, and it's a well-known name. We're going to tell you who and how the fit would be. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. Thank you for watching. Before we dive into it, please you all subscribe. It means so much to me, the Digest Media team, when you support us. Only 8% of the viewers are subscribed. Please hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss our daily videos and you get all the biggest breaking news for your Warriors needs. Jimmy Butler. Warriors insider Anthony Slater expects the Warriors to show interest in Jimmy Butler. His quote, "We discussed some of the Warriors' options on our offseason preview podcast. Two quick situations. Brandon Ingram, if he's on the trade market, does not expect the Warriors to show interest. Heat with Jimmy Butler, some type of conversation would happen." Linking below, we have a full video with Brandon Ingram. If he came to the Warriors, how it would work. So we're going to let you watch that. If you already watched that, you know what we did. He would basically come in and be potentially 3-4. He can play multiple positions. But Jimmy Butler, let's dive into that. Y'all saw the Wiggins video, so we're going to go through the trade simulator. This is what it looks like, so you have an idea of how I make it. It shows you the players, their contract for both teams, of course, and then I have picks, trade exceptions, and staff. Sometimes there's a coach trade not happening here. I'm not doing a SPO for Kerr trade. So this is what it looks like. Now let's show you what happens if it fails so you understand. So let's say the first trade I want to do was Kuminga with some round 1, round 2 pick for Butler. No, it says trade failed. This can't happen. Why? Warriors are unable to complete this trade. Since they're now an over second apron team after this trade, they're only able to take back 100% of the salary they're sending out plus $0. Meaning Butler costs $48 million per year. That's how much we have to get back. Warriors can only take back $7.6 million in base salary on the amount they are sending out. So you can see here, because we're sending out $7.6 million, it has to be even there. Not going to work. So you have an idea. So we're going to show you what worked. But if we're getting back Jimmy Butler, what does he play? 2 or 3. What are the Heat going to want? Someone who can step in. They're a perennial playoff team. 2 years ago, they were in the finals. They lost to Denver. This year, they were a little bit banged up, and they didn't do well in the playoffs. However, they want someone back who can step in, be with this team that is a win-now team with Bam anchoring that defense, anchoring in the paint. Kuminga would be the guy. Maybe Wiggins, and we're going to show you trades for both, but they're going to want someone young and potentially maybe somebody with a playoff experience and championship pedigree. So if this failed, same situation here, Kuminga first-round pick, we have to make it so the money works. So that's why the first trade that works, Kuminga, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, of course, free agent. So what we'd have to do here is a sign and trade. Heat right now don't have a lot of cap room, so he may not get the money he would want if he'd go to Heat directly. Again, they don't want to go over their aprons and things like that. So sign and trade means he can get more money. Right now, Kuminga's at $7.6 million. For this trade to work, it has to be around $35 million. So that means Klay could get a deal from the Heat 2-3 years at $30 million. Are the Heat going to do that? Probably not. Honestly, no way. I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for Klay. He's probably more in the 20-ish million range if he could do that. He could come in and play that 3, play that 2 for the Heat. Could come off the bench. That's a lot of money for someone to come off the bench. We just did that with Chris Paul. But the trade works. And that's because the money will work because Klay will get signed to what makes that trade work. Let me know. Kuminga trade for Jimmy. Do you take that trade? I think most of Warriors Nation probably says yes, because Jimmy is still in his prime, maybe towards the tail's end, but put him at the 3, takes Kuminga's spot. 2 is Brandon, 1 is Steph, 4 is Dre, 5 is Trey Jackson Davis. Now you have a proven second scorer, slasher, ball handler. When Steph's not playing, Jimmy can be the focal point, helping out that second team, or late in the fourth quarter. It's not on Steph to have to create. Jimmy creates for himself. Yes, it would suck to lose Kuminga, the future, but if you're trying to win now and you get a second star to come with you, not a bad option. So that's trade one. Now here's another trade. Maybe they don't want to pay Klay that much. Then you know what? You throw Draymond in there. Throw is obviously a lenient word. Draymond's a part of the trade. You're off of his salary moving forward, the $25 million a year. I know a lot of Warriors fans say trade Dre anyways. You don't want him on the team anymore. You think his production's not worth the risk. You don't think his production is there anymore. So you throw in, you have Green and Kuminga, puts you at $31 million. That means Klay would get about a $13 million deal, which is much, much better around his range. You get 3 players, and we get Butler back. That means, well, one thing, look at the cap hit we get. Impact for the Warriors, $28 million impact on the cap. Great. So we could go get somebody potentially like a Nick Claxton. I know we've seen on the trades. All those big men we've talked about. Maybe you want to do a trade for Ingram. You could really do multiple trades to get the roster changed over. But in that scenario, you lose Draymond, you lose Kuminga. So your 1 is Steph, your 2 is Brandon, your 3 is Butler, your 4 is open, and you got Trace Jackson-Davis. So you need to go find a 4. What if we keep Kuminga? He says off limits. What about Wiggins? It's not going to work again. Look at the money. So we have to find a trade that works for the Wiggins trade. The money-wise, then again, it comes down to Klay Thompson. Sign and trade. You throw in the first round as well, which is a lot for the Warriors to give up. Just to get Butler, again, he's going to have to re-sign. Going to be a high signing. You're giving up a first round. 2028, who knows what the team will look like at that point, if it'll even be a good draft pick in terms of like, will it be late first round, early first round. But you're going to lose Klay, and you're losing Wiggins, strong defense, above average shooting, championship pedigree. So again, your starting lineup really doesn't change. What happens is Steph 1, Jimmy and Kuminga 2, 3, however you want to put it, 4 Dre, 5 Trace Jackson-Davis. But not having Wiggins to be able to come off the bench, good team player, all that is tough. So those are some trades that work. If you think any of those are good, comment. If you think they're all shit, comment. But again, I'm just saying, the story is we got to trade for Butler. That's why you don't see all these other, like, oh, trade for this and not. The rumor is Butler on the trade, so we got to make a trade for that. We'll have other trade videos for other players coming out. I got a lot working up. I know you all like to see it. But comment on this. The trade for Butler, yes or no? You like it? And 2, which of those trades makes sense? And is there something else in there that is good? And if it's not, again, go to this website, Fanspo, make the trade, and see how it works and comment. Topic 2. Darvin Ham, Lakers head coach. Former Lakers head coach, I should say. He's now on the free market, and there's a report out. The Warriors have spoken to Darvin Ham about coming onto this Warrior staff. Per Anthony Slater again, Warriors have had some conversation with the former LA Laker head coach, Ham, in recent weeks, per league sources. This isn't expected to materialize, but it's a signal the Warriors' desire to add a big-name assistant, indications they are in search for either a former head coach or former player to fill that role. Now, why could that be? Here's our coaching staff. We put out multiple videos on this channel already letting you know. Kenny Atkinson, assistant coach right there, is in talks to be potentially the assistant coach of the head coach of the Cavs. He's going through the interview process right now. He was in the running for the Suns. He was hired by the Hornets a year or 2 ago, took that away. He walked away from that, stayed with the Warriors. So his eye is a little bit out there. Also, some people think maybe he's not the best assistant coach in this position. He took over from Mike Brown as the guy. But long story short, this is your head coach. Of course, you see there in memory of Deji, rest in peace. Super sad he left. So there is a hole on the court, on the coaching staff that needs to be filled. And it's always good to get a fresh face, new person to come in, new ideas to help out. Kerr's seeing a lot of turnover on his staff. We talked about Atkinson already. Mike Brown, of course, is the coach of the Kings. Mal Alalia left for the Raptors. New Orleans Pelicans head coach, former Warrior staff as well. So staff turnover shows us a good organization, good staff. We're doing a lot. Ham with the Lakers. He has an overall 90-74 record as a head coach. Went to back-to-back playoffs. Western Conference Finals. Of course, he beat the Warriors in the semifinals in 22-23. This year, did not do well against the Nuggets. Assistant coach for quite a while. Lakers, Atlanta, Milwaukee. Was very coveted for those last years. Milwaukee won a championship as an assistant coach with Milwaukee. and got his start with the Lakers head coach. Did not work out. I mean, Lakers are just tough. It's a tough team to coach. A lot of personalities. You have the whole LA media. You have the whole rumor mill going. It's a high pressure environment. Tough for a first coach to succeed. Derek Fisher was head coach there. Former Laker great. Didn't do well. I mean, coaches there have a shelf life of like 3-4 years, if that. I mean, he got 2 years. Before that, a couple years for the previous coach. So it doesn't work out well with the Lakers. It's just a very pressurized environment. I think he could be a head coach somewhere else. Again, not a bad idea to be under Steve Kerr. Mike Brown was kind of another former Laker coach, was kind of broken after coaching. Warriors hope you build yourself back up, get a new gig. Darvin Ham, what's he good at? What is he good at? He's a great player coach. That's what the reports say. Now, at the end of the day, it seemed like Anthony Davis did not like Ham, reportedly, so that's why one of the reasons he went. But reportedly, one of the reasons he was hired by Lakers, great player coach. Where he had some issues was the X's and O's in the game and late game management. It seemed like he always had his hands in his pockets, didn't use timeouts wisely, wasn't able to really be a strategic coach and set the right play to be successful. So that is something that maybe under Kerr, we've heard a lot of good things. Kerr does a great job in the timeout, setting up a play, coming out, getting a bucket, things of that. You can come in and learn. Players love being coached by players. There's this respect factor there as well. So I think if he comes in, it'd be a good get. Does he become the number one assistant if Atkinson leaves? Maybe. But again, it sounds like he may not actually be able to be hired here. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think he'd be a good hire, yes or no? And do you think the Butler trades will work or not? And if that's a good trade for the Warriors to do. Until next one, y'all, Randy out.